Yo, what is going on, everybody? It is your boy Optic Scumpy here today, bringing you an update vlog slash post vlog. I know I usually post these the Monday after we have a tournament or any LAN event. This technically wasn't a tournament, but I've been super busy. If a lot of you guys aren't following me on Twitter, I've actually been moving into a new place with my girlfriend. As you can see, here is my new room. I'm a little bit messy. I still have a bunch of boxes and stuff. That's actually my new chair that I just got, and then a tripod and new monitor, stuff like that, and then I just have other mess down here. But finally starting to wrap things up with the moving in process. Not 100% done yet, still a lot of stuff being delivered and coming, so I can't promise that there will be videos every single day, but they will be very, very frequent compared to how they have been the past couple of weeks, which I do apologize for. Like I said, I've been moving and planning to move for the past 2 weeks, and we also had the LAN qualifier event, which sort of threw a wrench in my upload schedule the past few weeks. So I'm going to talk a little bit more about that and talk about our LAN event that we just had the past weekend, even though I'm sure a lot of you guys already saw the result. Just going to give my 2 cents on it, and then a little bit of upcoming information coming in the near future. So first, let's get just the information out of the way. The event that we were at was a qualifier for the Season 1 playoffs. The Season 1 playoffs has a total prize of $500,000. It's actually this next weekend. Today is, I believe, Thursday, if I am not mistaken. Actually, today is Friday, sorry. Today is Friday. So next weekend, on this Friday actually, in 7 days from now, we'll be playing our first round, and we actually play phase in the first round. First prize is $200,000 split 4 ways, so that's $50,000 a person. Also made my upload schedule a little bit hard, which we were playing every single day at 5, and I was moving stuff and trying to get moved into my new place from pretty much when I woke up until that time every single day. The drive to my new place from the old place I was at was about a 50-minute drive there, so you put that times 2, that's 100 minutes in the car. I just been all over the place, so I do apologize, but Season 1 playoffs are coming up. It's a huge event. And our qualifying event that we had this past weekend was, like I said, just to qualify for that and to get a seed for that tournament. So, if you didn't actually end up watching that, which I know a lot of people really didn't, it didn't really have too much hype around it. It was, like I say, it's just a qualifying event. I mean, we were pretty much not 100% guaranteed to qualify, but we would have had to majorly mess up to not qualify. We didn't have the hardest group out of all the other groups. We had a pretty easy one, actually, compared to the others. So I'm just going to run through some of our matches in that and give you my breakdown on them. So the first day we played against Red Reserve, ended up beating them 3-1. We didn't go last map with anybody. Actually, no, that's not true. We did go last map once. We 3-1 Red Reserve in that match. Pretty easy match. First match, Jitters got out of the way, and we go up 1-0 there. Next, playing against E6, the team that most people thought was going to get second in our pool, which they ended up getting second. The first time that we played them, we ended up 3-1ing them. E6 played us really, really strong. Both times that we actually played them, they choked quite a few maps against us. I believe the first series, we won the first hardpoint, and then we won the SND, lost throwback uplink, which was one of the maps that we had a lot of troubles on throughout the weekend. We've been trying to really polish that map up and get better at it, obviously. We played it terribly at the event. I think that we've gotten a lot better at it with our last 4 days of practice. But at the event, we just couldn't win it. And E6 is a really good uplink team traditionally, so they just pretty much mopped us on that map. And then fourth map, beat them. Our hardpoint looked incredible. Our hardpoint looked pretty much unfuckwithable. Our SND was like 50-50. I think we pretty much split SNDs, but our hardpoint was insane. Uplink was pretty bad, actually. I wouldn't even say like iffy. It was actually pretty bad besides Frost, and then our SND, like I said, was 50-50. So we ended up beating E6, go up 2-0 the first day. We're feeling good. After that, we were pretty much like, as long as we don't mess up at this point, we're good, because you played 6 matches total. It was a double round robin. There were 4 teams in each pool, so double round robin, you play each team 1 or 2 times, which equals 6 matches. So Red Reserve E6 ended up going 6-2 map count the very first day. Next, we play against Elevate. Elevate has traditionally always gave us trouble in the past, so we weren't even counting this as like a blowover match. A lot of people were like, Elevate's not that good of a team, you know, they're probably going to get last in the pool, which they ended up getting 3rd. But people were saying that they weren't that good of a team, but they've always given us a really, really hard match every time we play them. They probably actually played us the best out of the 3 teams there that weekend, which were Red Reserve, E6, and Elevate. So props to them. I mean, they play us really well, and then some of the European teams, I'm not sure what happens to them, but they just, like, I don't even want to say choke, but they do. they really do just choke or they lose composure whenever they're up in games, and they just lose themselves maps. But we 3-0'd them the first series. None of the maps were a blowout. They were all extremely close maps. And like I said, Elevate, they always play us good, dude. Every single time we play them, they play us good. So we beat Elevate in our third match. We're 3-0 at this point. Again, we're like, okay, we just can't majorly mess up, and we're going to go through. So we play Elevate. Next, we play Red Reserve again in our second matchup. I believe that we 3-1 them again. Excuse my memory. It's been like 4 or 5 days, so I'm not really 100% sure about every single match. But I believe that we 3-1 them again. I think we 6-2'd Elevate or Red Reserve throughout the whole weekend. They played good too. Like I said, the European teams are very, very good. If you're a European viewer and you're like, why can't they ever win? It really, I don't know, dude. It comes down to them just clutching up in maps and being able to finish maps out when they have elite. It really does come down to that. The first half of games, they come out strong. The second half, they sort of fall off a little bit, which doesn't really make 100% sense to me. But that's just how it's been going. So we 3-1 Elevate again. We're now 4-0 in the pool, and we're like, okay, we pretty much already clinched our spot into the Season 1 playoffs. And the way that the seeding went, it was first and second go to playoffs, and they clinch a spot for champs. Third doesn't go to playoffs, but they get a spot at champs. And then fourth has to play a relegation tournament at MLG Anaheim, which is coming up in, I want to say a month or so. Probably close to a month, 3 weeks maybe. So, 4-0. We're like, okay, we got this. Next, we play Elevate again, and we go last map with them. Like I said, they play us so strong every single time we play them. Beat them first map. Second map, I believe they beat us. And then third map as well, they end up beating us on the uplink. And then we have to come back 2 maps in a row. We're down 2-1. We play them on their best map, which is Retail Hardpoint. Barely end up edging that out. Matt was going off that game. Thank goodness. I was saying to Matt, I was like, if you didn't go off that game, we probably lost that series and that map. I actually ended up switching out of Cronus after that map because the whole series, my Cronus, or if you don't know what a Cronus is, it's the thing you plug in so you don't get the Bluetooth lag with the iPhones. A lot of the times these things cause a little bit of a delay in the controller, and that's why the Cronuses are plugged in. So I switched mine out, and then last map, me and Ian ended up pretty much taking over. I went like 9-3. I think he went like 10-3 or something. We were pretty just dominant on the last map. Ended up taking that series. But again, Elevate plays us the closest out of the 3 teams at the weekend. I really don't understand it. And then moving on, we play E6 again. This was probably the best series that we played overall in terms of the whole weekend, because E6 was the team that most people would put second in our group. That was the match that everyone was like wanting to see because that was the 2 top teams in the group. So we ended up 3-0ing them. First map, they choked really, really hard. Second map, RS&D, like I said, if we were playing good, we were playing good, and we ended up beating them like 6-4 or something like that on Crusher. And then last map, we ended up beating them like 12-6 on Frost Uplink, which I said was our best uplink by far going into that weekend. So those were the 6 matches. I mean, we went 6-0. We were the only team out of the 16 teams that went 6-0 in our group. A lot of teams ended up going 5-1, but we were the only team to completely flawless our group. So that's a good confidence boost going into the Season 1 playoffs. Like I said, we play FaZe first round there. Our bracket at Season 1 playoffs for the $200,000 first prize is we play FaZe first. If we beat FaZe, we're going to play Envy or LG. And then if we beat the team that comes out from that round, we're going to end up playing like United or Splice probably. So we got a... We arguably got the easiest pool to qualify, but now I think we got probably the hardest, if not the second hardest bracket at the actual tournament. So, it is what it is. That's really my update, though. That's like the rundown of the weekend. Like I said, I apologize for the lack of videos. I'm going to start pumping those out a lot again. It's been really tough with trying to move and get all my stuff situated, and I was living with her parents for a little bit, so that also made things hard for me. It was just hard. But finally moved into a new place, got my own setup, got my internet, everything is good to go. So thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you guys for being patient with me while I have been going through this process. Hope you guys all have a great rest of your evening. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys all have a great rest of your day. And as always, this is your Bob Scump.